My name is Anna Mitchell. I'm the local history librarian for the Wayne County Public Library. Today is Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, and I'm here conducting an interview for the Creative Aging Project. I have two interviewees here with me today, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves.
My name is Cathy Blow, and I was the instructor for the Creative Aging Quilting, and it was a pleasure to do it. I'm almost 70 years old, and I enjoyed teaching the class very much.
And I'm Oma Whitaker. I'm 84 years old. I am an experienced seamstress and quilter, but I have learned so much from Cathy. I am very thrilled that I got into this class.
Perfect. Do I have your permission to record this interview today?
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So we will start with kind of just finding out a little bit of information about how you found out about the Creative Aging program here at the Wayne County Public Library.
I found out about it when Lisa Stevens at that time it was the Pikeville Library, now it is now the Northern Wayne County Library, asked me would I consider being an instructor.
I learned about it when somebody from the library came to the Golden Agers luncheon meeting
Okay.
and told us about it.
Do you remember who it was that came? Cornelia.
I believe it was Cornelia
No, this was somebody from the library that
from
came.
the library. Oh,
It
Christine.
was Christine. Okay.
I know Cornelia was a big advertiser of the
Okay.
program.
Great. Christine Grant is our project manager, so it makes sense that she would have been the one to go and talk to you about it. So it looks like there was just some good outreach on behalf of the library coming to you. So this question really is for Cathy. Did you have experience teaching older adults before? So were you already comfortable with that, or did you have more experience with a younger audience?
I had experience with older and younger because I have done quilting or taught quilting for some older people, some people in my age group, and for some children in different organizations, programs, and churches.
Sure. Does your age group, your target audience, does that impact the way that you plan and teach at all, or do you kind of do the same for everybody?
It does. It plans because my older group will probably have a better understanding of certain words and procedures than my younger group would know about.
Okay. So, were there any particular challenges that you thought you faced during this program as opposed to maybe a different class that you've taught before?
One of the challenges I had was that there was so many of them that were at different levels. They wanted to learn to quilt. Some of them were very experienced in using a machine, and some had never used a sewing machine. So it was kind of a challenge to keep them moving along and learning. And, I kept encouraging them that even if you don't go as far as an experience does, you still learn something. And you can keep building on it, and maybe we can keep having classes.
And you said you said you're already an experienced quilter. So, was there anything new about this class that you found challenging?
I did a lot of challenging. Not really.
Okay.
No, I can't really think of anything.
Sure. you already knew what you were doing, but you at least were with a group and a community. And I'm sure, as an experienced seamstress, were you able to help with other people who needed it?
I did.
Well, that's good to have that community building experience as well.
Alma was a big help
good.
for some of the ones that were less experienced, particularly for those that did not know how to use their machine. She would go around and help them thread their machine and kind of keep them up so they could continue creating a project. But I think Oma and I both come from an era where we didn't have the rotary cutters and the acrylic
Correct.
cutters. We learned how to cut our patterns from cereal boxes and rulers like you used in
Correct.
school and with your scissors. And nowadays it's so much faster and you get
And
more
more
done.
accurate.
Yep, much more accurate. Because once you trace around a pattern, when it starts getting worn and frayed, its size changes.
Sure. So, Oma, is this the only class that you took with Creative Aging?
Yes.
Just the quilting class?
Yes.
Okay. And as an experienced quilter, why did you choose this class? Just to learn more or just to be with the community?
more so just to be with people that had like interest.
Sure. Yeah, that seems like a good way to do it, to do something where you're building something together.
Right.
Because can you tell me a little about what the project was that you were creating?
We had 3 projects because when you're dealing with quilting, you have to designate. In order to be able to quilt, you have to have something to quilt. So you've got to make you a quilt or you've got to make you a top, and then you've got to decide, am I going to machine quilt or am I going to hand quilt? So we created a mug rug that we hand quilted. Then we created a table runner with blocks that you could hand quilt or machine quilt.
That sounds really.
And we did one other
Oh,
thing.
what did you do?
If you get a chance to go over to the Northwest Library, there is a quilt on the wall where we made a quilt that looks like a bookcase. As a matter of fact, it looks so much like a bookcase. Lisa told our group, because we continued on when the program stopped.
Sure.
We just kept meeting and sewing and learning new things. And so we had put this in the old-fashioned frames, and everybody, once they had done their mug rug, could move to the frame and hand quilt on the bookcase.
Sure.
But she was telling me that she had a patron go into the library, and she was over there looking, and she said, I saw her touching the quilt, and she said, how do I get a book off this shelf?
That's
So I thought that was
wow.
quite complimentary of our work because it
Absolutely.
was a class effort.
Yeah, I've been up to the Northern Wayne branch and I've seen it and it's beautiful.
It is.
And it's so great to see a lasting project in one of our buildings. Like that's an amazing thing to see.
But now, Lisa will tell you when she retires, it goes with
It,
her.
it goes with Lisa. Okay, I understand. So for each of you, was there a particular moment in the class that was your favorite? Or that you thought was especially rewarding, that you'll kind of remember forever?
I think it was rewarding that I never really saw anybody get completely frustrated. Because if I was helping another student, then there was always someone that had accomplished this skill that was willing to help their classmate. And they really became a close group, and they have stayed close. They have their own little text block where they send things out and share thoughts with each other, and they still meet at the library. We started off once a week, but during the summer we're doing like every other week, first and third Tuesdays.
Okay. Wow. Did you have a favorite moment, or does it kind of resonate with you what Cathy said?
Yeah, well, I think I have made me a real good friend sitting here beside
Oh,
me.
good. That's always a good thing.
we
a
made-
rewarding thing. Yeah.
I think they all became real friends. They meet and talk, and we have 2 that even on our off days they go to the library and sew just because they help each other, and that's their off days and they want to sew.
That's really beautiful the way that this program has done that for everyone who participated, because you're not the only people I've heard say, you know, they have new friends now because of it. So you kind of already touched on how it adds value and meaning to your life, but what does it mean to you that you have a library in your community who is willing to offer a program like this?
I think it's wonderful because you hear so many people, particularly 55 plus, you know, we're reaching retirement, and nowadays we don't have to freeze and can and stay busy like we used to. And they say, well, I'm lonely and I don't have nothing to do and I get tired of watching TV. And I think it's a great outreach program because we don't really have that offered through our churches or our schools or our senior centers. I mean, we have programs, but I don't know that they all deal with such programs as life skills or hobby skills.
Yeah.
What about you, Oma? How do you feel?
Well, I reiterate that. I lost my husband, and I love to sew. I have said if I had not had my sewing machine, I guess I'd have lost my mind. But I had that to go to. But sitting home alone is not a great lot of fun. So I can go and quilt and laugh and talk and learn with these other ladies that love the same thing I love.
Sure. And that's one reason that we want this to be able to continue.
Correct.
Is because we have,
Correct.
I mean, we can see just from you 2 ladies that this has been an amazing community and friendship building experience. So is there anything else that you want to
It's-
say?
And it's really good that it can happen during the daytime because so many 55 plus, we don't like to get out and drive at night anymore. And Saturdays, if our family's going to visit, it's usually on Saturday. And Sundays, we enjoy going with our church families and visiting with them. So during the week and during the daylight time, I think added to the fact that so many people have participated.
Sure. I do think that they were mindful in scheduling so that the most people could come and attend. But is there anything else that you'd like to share about your experience with creative aging or your thoughts about, the library and this program?
It was a wonderful learning experience. I do hope it continues because, as well as my students and the people that attended the class, I learned things too. And we picked up on different techniques and we shared recipes and things we did. We just really became close friends.
Good.
And after this class actually ended, Cathy said we could invite others who were not the 55 plus. I had a granddaughter that was very interested, granddaughter-in-law,
Okay.
that was very interested in learning and seeing my sewing. So I've taken her and she's learning.
Oh, great.
And she's 28 and she's thoroughly enjoying the whole class.
And
And
I-
she doesn't feel left out with all of us older ladies.
Sure.
And my daughter is interested too. She was an assistant, so I really think our younger group that wants to go can definitely assist our program.
Sure.
Because next time, my older group has already said, well, if they do it again, I'm going to take it again. So I'm going to have experience, intermediates, and all different levels of skill, but they're all going to help each other. It's going to work, and it'll be a different project. I'll design a different project that my older class didn't do, and they'll all learn together.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I
So-
love that you're building on it. That sounds really
Yeah, I
exciting.
hope we don't overextend on our need of sewing machines.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be, it would be a tough thing, but it would be a good thing at the same
Right.
time, I think. All right, well, thank you so much for coming and having this conversation and for being a part of this program.
Well, thank you for the
Thank you.
opportunity and for the program.